Flight Boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon, Flight Boss, the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, I want to talk about the new Zodiac wheel. Now, what I'm about to present to y'all ain't even really new, but for some strange reason, I see us drifting off into what's already there, and we're correlating ourselves off of animal natures, where we really need to get into this age and really start getting into our man woman like nature and kind of leave this animal nature alone. So I'm about to be the first person to actually break this cycle. Now, for the most part, we need to stop looking at ourselves as animals in the first place. So like I said, you're an Aries, you're a ram, you're a Taurus, you're a bull, you're a Gemini, you're a twin, you're a Cancer, you're a crab. Look, we need to get the fuck out of this type of science right here. Now, this is what we actually need to get into, and this actually makes more sense, and it's really not even new, but it is presented new because I'm packaging it up, and it is new. So look at it like this. You got the houses, which is the 12 houses. Each house created a certain energy. So when you got the first house, that's your personality, personal issues, and your personal affairs, and the individual. So off the back, the first house, the first space and location created the stars of Aries. Now, for the most part, we're going to change the signs. Aries is no longer the ram. Aries is the head. That's what we need to start making the constellation. That's how we need to start looking at it and everything. Aries is the head. So instead of looking at it like the ram and you got all these false attributes that really ain't nothing but you correlating the element, the modality, and the planet ruler and just mixing them together, and then that's how you come. That's really all what it is. But the backdrop, what it is and really what it is, where those came from, is if you correlate it to the head. Now, Aries, the head, that deals with sight. You know what I'm saying? That deals with individual. So getting too lost into the sight or light of being an individual will become selfish, single-minded, you know. But at the same time, key word, single-minded. So it deals with the brain. So Aries like to think, but think for themselves. And they develop their personality, and they like to be their personality to be seen and not be compromised with. So you see how the head works with and is going into everything head first. Boom. Second house. That's Taurus. Taurus is no longer the bull. Taurus is the throat. So stop calling yourself a bull, my young bull. You know what I'm saying? My old head bull, my old bull. Nah, nigga, motherfucker, you is the throat. So when you look at the throat, that's dealing with volume. So we ain't even got to add Venus at this point. Adding Venus is how you get the artistic and musical side, but we get to start with the throat. That's volume. Your value, your ability to utilize your voice. So and if you utilize your voice for the things you value, it turns into a talent. So this is how you get musical. This is how you get things of that nature, and you know, certain energies that's coming from the throat, certain energies that's coming from the motherfucking, and look, and think about this. Taste. Food. Motherfuckers like taste, like eating things. Comfortability. Don't think like things being harsh right there, because that when you're incapable, say you have a sore throat, that's a form of incapability. You don't want to be seen, you want to be wrapped up. So as Taurus, they as a form of instability, they don't want to be seen. They may not talk. They may reserve and just be conservative until things clear up and they can make the most sense out of things. See how that works? Now you get to Gemini. Gemini, I would say, is the lungs and all the dual natures to you. So it's still, everything is still connected. So your ability to not just have sight, but the two eyes of it that you look out of, the two hands, the shoulders, the arms, the two lungs, you know, all the dual natures. So this dealing with relating to one of each other in some way, shape, or form. It turns into communication, because they're communicating with each other as far as it's relating and things and messages being passed on. Keyword messages, and we ain't even got to Mercury yet. Ain't that about a bitch? You see what the fuck I'm saying? Now when we the lungs is breathing in what? Keyword air. Now so this motherfucking air, and that's dealing with all goddamn communication and analyzing and relating to one another. So you know, and then when you look at the lungs, it's carrying air to the brain, carrying, so you know it's the sextile. So it's between the sextile, between the lungs and the mind. You know, you have a sign there already. Taurus, that's the throat, the voice, or whatever like that. But then you have the sextile, so you have the air carrying messages to the mind. So you know they create opportunities energies with each other. You know, shit get motherfucking deep here. Now, when we go to motherfucking Cancer. Now, I would like to say Cancer the heart, because in medical astrology, they would like to say it's the chest and Leo the heart, but we changing this whole shit around because we like to make sense about things. Now, Cancer is the heart. So when you look at even America, America was built on the frequency vibrations of the Cancer energy. That's why 4th of July is and all these things of that nature, a Declaration of Independence, all this kind of different shit, whatever like that. But when you deal with the heart, you're dealing with the emotions, the feelings, the vibrations. Even talking about the moon rules that area right there. The moon rules the area of the heart and any kind of circumstance or situation. So you know, the heart is dealing with manifesting, vibrating, vibes, emotions and feelings. Being able to match someone's vibe or change the vibe of the room or the people, or having to run away and get into your own vibe somewhere because you feel uncomfortable in that emotional stance or that surroundings. So you know, that's dealing with the heart, caring about things, caring about vulnerability or being exposed, or caring for others and having discernment. God damn it, motherfucker. Now when we talk about Leo, Leo is in the motherfucking gut. Now I like to say it's the gut right there, almost down there by the sternum and shit like that, because it's the desire, it's the passion. You know what I'm saying? You desire lots of things, even the foods you desire. Where do it go? In your motherfucking stomach. So you see what I'm saying? You have to now it's a square, because when you look at the stomach and then you look at the throat, they're square. They're two fixated things. So you have to make sure that you're not taking too much things in your throat that don't agree with your stomach. So you have to learn from each other. The square create learning situations. And when you look at Taurus and Leo, that's a square. You see how the things this motherfucking works. So you know, it's even dealing with the center. Your stomach is almost like your center of you, not your half of you, but the center. You know what I'm saying? Things in the middle. And so this is why Leos like to be center stage and things of that nature. It could go on so many realms of realities. Now, when we get to Virgo will be going down before the pelvic and down the sternum. So you know, that's connected to the nerves, all your nerve system. So the nerves, what's with the nerves? The blood flow through the nerves. So the nerves, you got to get blood flow through all your body, right? So what's that mean? Connection. So Virgos help connect. It's the details. It connects this point and this point of the things that you may have missed. For an example, if you're a scientist and you just now becoming a scientist, you like, okay, hip bone connected to the right bone, left bone connected to the left bone, and then you like, dang, okay, yeah, they're connected, but how's they all running with each other? How they all fluid? Then once you start to look at the details, you start to pick the nerves, and you like, okay, what does these do? It carry the blood from one position to the one position. It makes sure everything is steady. So this is why Virgos like to look at the details. They get things working. They deal with work. You know, your veins and shit gotta work. Your nerve system gotta work, or you gonna be chaotic, you know, smoke 1,000 cigarettes a day and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You got, or have bad nerves and get bad bones and shit. Shit got the flow. So the Virgo is there to keep things steady and keep things in pace. You know, it could worry when things is getting certain cut off with the blood clot and all that shit. It could worry, and then it make you worry, and then you have to go to the hospital. And then when you go to the hospital, see, this is why Virgos deal with health and things of that nature, because when you got blood clots and certain blood flows through the nerves ain't reaching certain areas and you're feeling kind of weak and shit, you start to get into your medical and you start to try to figure out what's wrong with your health and shit like that. So this is why I play out with Virgos. See how all this working? Now, you look at motherfucking Libra. Libra is the motherfucking your complete half. The half that's separating you from the Centaur part of you, because we're in the Centaur constellation. So it's the bottom half of you and it's your top half of you. So right now you get indecisive. Sometimes you don't know if you want to do this, you want to do that, but it's a relationship, and it's based on relating, and one can't do without the other. So this is why you don't see it no other way but creating a balance or some form of compromising. You know what I'm saying? Because what the top of your body gonna do without your goddamn legs? You know what I'm saying? Or your whole bottom half, your whole sex organs and all that shit, right? What the top of your body gonna, and then what the bottom half of your body gonna do without that? So you see what I'm saying? This is the that's why Libras look at a lot of their relationships like this is my other half, and they like to relate to people and compromise and things of that nature. So this is boom, that's the Libra, the whole split in half area of you, for your ability to even bend backwards for someone else, aka to do Pilates and bend over and bend backwards. Motherfucker, your Libra area, motherfucker, you gotta have some type of balance in your life. Now when we go to motherfucking Scorpio. Now, Scorpio rules the motherfucking sex organs. So when you look at your sex organs, what is that? You keep clothes on. So what? That's something you keep secret. So Scorpios may play out circumstances in their life where they keep secrets, keep stuff hidden, or don't want to be vulnerable. So they may hide certain things that they may not want you to know, based upon you changing the circumstance and situation in a way that they can't control it from an esoteric outside point of view looking in. You know what I'm saying? When you also look at what else your sex organs do? They create life, they create things and things of that nature, and it gets aroused, so you can get excited, overexcited, or get extra down, or you could be very creative as a Scorpio. You see what I'm saying? It all fucking boils down, and it's real cultive. So you know, a lot of Scorpios may be into a lot of occult things, and occult things ain't nothing but just doing things behind closed doors. So sex is an occult nature. You being to yourself is a motherfucking occult nature, and you keeping things within you that everybody don't need to know is an occult type of things, because people can't consciously see it. You didn't bring it into the sun. You did some Saturn shit with it. You know what I'm saying? It didn't reflect no light. It didn't let you gained some stability on it. So you see what I'm saying? This is why a lot of people gear a lot of energy towards Saturn. But look, let's keep going. Now, Sagittarius, this is the thighs. So this is your ability to travel, your ability to separate yourself from others. And then through traveling and experiences within these travels, you end up gaining wisdom and knowledge, because you end up experiencing locations that others haven't with your thighs. Now, even though we all have thighs, I'm putting this in metaphorical terms so we can understand it philosophical wise. You know, so like with the thighs, you travel with the thighs. Your thighs is your ability to move, and your ability to cuff and sit and things of that nature. And once you travel and gain experience, you're able to separate yourself from the rest. You don't have to walk with the pack. You can walk on your own. So this is why Sagittarius may play out situations of escaping a lot of times, because they have that ability to do that. But they also have the ability to be wise, to know that this situation ain't meant to get stuck in anyway. So they have wisdom, knowledge, you see what I'm saying, and based upon experience. And then they may even like to travel a lot of times. Boom. Then we get to motherfucking Capricorn. This is the kneecaps. So what is your kneecaps doing? Your kneecaps, bad knees. You're not even going to be able to walk or travel. So look, when you kneecaps is like the stability. You know what I'm saying? Your ability to stand. And this is why Capricorns like creating stability in their life. Foundation. Their ability to stand on something, so they don't have to utilize others as a crutch. So earlier in their life, they may utilize a lot of their friends and families as a crutch, till they develop the situation and to not be lazy and practicalize their life to the point that they can create a foundation for themselves. You know, so they're very business orientated. It is a lot of times the business minded may play out as being bossy, because they ain't got shit else to do early in life. But for the most part, they know how to get with it. But it's the kneecaps. It's the ability to stand, create a foundation, status. You know what I'm saying? Be seen, be known for something, create a career that people can see that is something you can stand on. Now, when we get to Aquarius, this is the shins, the ankles. Now, the shins is the ankles. This is also a traveling relativeness type of energy right there, because this is how you relate. This is connecting the knees down to the feet. So this is a form of relationship, but it's in its own unique way. It's in its own stable relationship way. It's not actually necessarily traveling or relating, responding like lungs like. You know what I'm saying? It's not necessarily dealing with another person's half or things of that nature. It's relating in its own unique way, in its own area, and it's connecting areas of stability and areas of imagination. So this is why Aquarius know how to take the outer realm, the imagination, and be able to bring it in reality and make sense out of these things, even if it don't make sense to you, because they may be kicking around too many metaphors and hypotheticals. But at the same time, once you sit back and think about it, you're like, God damn, that was brilliant. So it's like the shins. You know what I'm saying? It's whoever created even the shin realm of reality. It was brilliant for us to even motherfucking travel. But you get what I'm saying? It's unique and original, and it's kind of out the box. You kind of think about the shins like, okay, I understand the kneecaps, I understand the thighs, I understand the motherfucking half of my body, I understand everything else he was saying. But the shins, goddamn, see, it's kind of, you kind of got to think unique and original after a while. You're like, okay, it's kind of, you got to start thinking unique after a while. Like you start it start being unknown and start jumping into the unknown realm. Like, okay, what is this really used for? And then it makes you think scientifically and logical. Now we have to logically start to think about what the shins is actually used for us to even break it down in a way to correlate it to astrology. So even that concept that we just went through in general, that represents, that's why that's Aquarius. You know what I'm saying? Aquarius is very acquisitive minded. You know? And then we get to the feet, which is Pisces. Now Pisces is no longer the fish, it's the feet. So let me go back again. Like Aries no longer the ram, Taurus no longer the bull, it's the throat. Aries no longer the ram, it's the head. You know, Cancer is, Gemini is no longer the twins, it's the lungs. You see what I'm saying? And all the dual natures. Cancer is no longer the crab, it's the heart. Leo is no longer the lion, it's the stomach. What do your stomach do? Roar when you're hungry. So you have a desire to eat. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to correlate this shit to no lions and shit. You see what I'm saying? Now, Virgo is no longer the virgin, it's the nervous system. You see what I'm saying? The motherfucking Libra is no longer the scale. It's the motherfucking your half of your body that cuts off between your lower half and your higher half. So you can break that down metaphysically. You know what I'm saying? Sagittarius is no longer the half man, half human. It's the actual development of our lower natures, which is our thighs. You know, Capricorn is no longer the goat. It's the kneecaps. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the stability. Aquarius is no longer the motherfucking water bearer. It's the shins, because it's unknown, but so we have to logically understand it from a metaphysic point of view, so it becomes scientific and metaphysic, and then and astrological and astronomical. And then we get to the feet, which is Pisces. So it's no longer the two fish, it's the 2 feet. So a lot of times you have to be relative, you have to be passive, you have to go along with the flow. Because what happens if you're walking but you're not walking with the flow? You're gonna be tripping over your own shoes and tripping over your own feet and shit like that. Niggas like walk straight. So when you walk straight, that's your feet they're going along with the flow with each other. And you're doing this subconsciously. So this is why a lot of Pisces dive in the subconscious realm to relate to the collective conscious. So this makes them creative, because their creative abilities know how to resonate with the collective in some way, shape, or form, because of how they resonate. So you see what I'm saying? You see how it play out in so many different ways. Then it's the feet. It's grounded, but it's really on a ground, but it's not the ground itself. So it's above the ground. So whatever above that, it's last. See what I'm saying? What was first shall be last. What was last shall be first. So a lot of times it's the flow. It's your ability to flow. It's your ability to swim. It's your ability to. So a lot of times you can't go in separate directions, but they are separate. So a lot of times you may have two separate ways of feeling about something. Same way when you get into a circumstance or situation, it may be right foot or left foot first, and based upon your ability to stand, it's going to be on you. So some people ain't good on their own too. Some people are good on their own too. But life could get so chaotic that it would bring in circumstances and situations in your life to make you experience, can you be on your own too or not? So can you walk on the ground beneath you? Or is you going to let the world wash you over in a wave, and you just stumble and fall and follow the leader and stumble and fall and swim into anything? See how deep the feet is going? So got to be careful what you're landing into. And you don't want to keep making yourself land into other people's circumstances and situations to the point that you're walking alone with someone else. Sometimes you're going to have to learn how to walk the other way, aka go the separate wave. So now this is the new astrology sign, and it makes so much motherfucking sense. And then once you start to understand this, you start to understand how the realm we in start to get created, because you know you're creating life. Your breath, that's life. Your blood, that's life. There's all kind of spirits that take those type of bodies and things of that nature in order for those to keep flowing. Those are lesser lives. So when you look at things like you using the bathroom, or you breathing, or you sweating, and you things of that, those are lives. So when you look at like ancient mythology or ancient type things, and they say like when motherfucking when Saturn cut off and castrated the dick of Uranus, his father, and shit like that, and then that little bit of blood became Aphrodite and shit like that, which is Venus, which I would think is Venus. Now you kind of get a better conception of shit. How you know this ain't happening when you cut yourself and you got some blood going, and then that blood start existing and causing friction in this realm of reality, and it might be a whole lot of little life in that motherfucker who a split second to you, maybe 100,000 years to them, and they done came up with all kind of sciences of what the fuck is going on. And then who's to say that they wasn't motherfucking right? Because guess what? We came up with the same kind of shit with the mythology. You see what I'm saying? So, but now that you get this understanding, now you can kind of understand how mankind can even come to these kind of conclusions in the first place, because this is what things really are. Like I said, the physical truth is time, lineage, history. Your soul truth is vibrational resonating. You know what I'm saying? Feeling comfortable or uncomfortable. That tells you what's true or false from the soul realm. And your spiritual truth is mythology, myth, mystery, my story. You see what I'm saying? And learning how to decipher these worlds is, which really the frequency vibration, that's one world. That's you bouncing, becoming an individual spirit, which is your soul, becoming a source, and being able to experience your creation through what you created in the energy realm. Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.